She vanished without a trace in the chaos of war, written off as another casualty of conflictant, till the day a single gunshot echoed through enemy lines, rewriting 10 years of silence with the explosive truth that not only was she alive, but she was about to save them all. If you crave stories that grip your soul and twist your mind, subscribe now and never miss another tale like this. Asterisk, they called her Captain Raya Vance, telled the ghost of Kandar Ridge, until she wasn't called anything at all, not after the explosion that swallowed her entire recon unit during Operation Deep Shroud. What? And silence in a valley that had long devoured soldiers with no mercy, no witness, no answers. She was declared Mia missing in action in a crisp morning 10 years ago. And with no body to bury and no signal from her beacon, she became another haunting whisper in military briefings. Her name, a hollow badge of honor on a rusting memorial wall, until now. Because in the blistering heat of yet another doomed mission, when Bravo 7's coms were jammed, ammo was low. And Lieutenant Reza's throat was raw from screaming for backup that wasn't coming. It happened, one impossible shot rang out from a ridge nobody had eyes on, piercing the jugular of a warlord who had them pinned with 30 men and a .50 cal. And as the enemy scattered in confusion, more shots followed, precise, rhythmic, possible like thunder guided by ghostly hands, and, when the dust cleared, a woman stood on that cliff with a custom-odd sniper rifle and a scarf that hadn't seen sun in years, and her voice crackled through the old squad frequency, grainy and calm. Vance reporting. Status, alive. Target neutralized. Extraction possible. You're welcome. And chaos erupted in the unit, half disbelief, half awe, until Reza himself, her former protégist, who'd trained under her before her death, whispered through grit teeth, "That's not possible. She's dead. I saw her die." They didn't have time to question miracles because they were on the move again. The warlord's death creating a power vacuum that lit the whole sector on fire, and Vance Guard, wild-eyed, leaner than any soldier had a right, to be appeared again and again over the following weeks. Not as a ghost, but as a guardian devil, saving the unit with lethal efficiency, guiding them through minefields like she'd planted them herself, calling out ambushes a minute before they happened, disappearing before they could ask how she knew what she knew. The truth only came when Reza cornered her during a covert evac under the ruins of Fort Meade, demanding answers with tears and anger boiling in equal measure. And Vance finally spoke not just words, but the unbearable truth. She'd been captured. That day 10 years ago, not killed, taken by the enemy's Black Ops unit known only as the Ashbloods, a faction so off the books the military denied they existed. And for years she'd been tortured, reprogrammed, brainwashed, rebuilt into a weapon meant to destroy the very army she once served, until one day, in the middle of an assassination mission in Damascus, she'd broken free, turned on her handlers, and vanished into the underworld to hunt down every Ashblood node with nothing but her rifle and a list of names, and she wasn't back to reunite. She was back to finish the mission, because Bravo 7's OP had unknowingly entered a stronghold for Ashblood's final command cell. And the warlord she killed wasn't just a local tyrant, but one of her former captors, codenamed Specterhood, helped program her nightmares, and her shot wasn't a rescue. It was revenge, but now that she'd shown her hand, the rest would come, and hard, because they knew she was alive, and she'd broken their last leash, and sure enough, within 48 hours the unit was ambushed with drones not even their techs could identify, hit with biochemical gas and PSOPs interference, making men scream at shadows and shoot at ghosts. And Vance led them through it with brutal tactics, sacrificing gear, even limbs, to keep them moving, until they reached the last safe zone. Cathedral-turned bunker in the desert cliffs, where an old CIA mole waited with one final dossier, the head of Ashblood. Now, the architect of her torment was hiding in plain sight as a top NATO commander, orchestrating destabilization from within, and taking him down meant not just survival, but exposing a conspiracy so deep it would shatter trust across governments. The unit split, half wanted out, half wanted justice, but Reza chose to follow Vance, even if it meant treason, because she had never been wrong. And somewhere inside her broken frame still burned the soul of the leader who once saved his life. on a rainy night in Mirak Valley. What followed was a bloodbath of silence, infiltration into secure command posts, betrayal from allies. One soldier captured and turned against them, until finally, at the Geneva summit, when the target stood. On stage in a general's uniform, smiling for cameras, Vance pulled the trigger from 2 kilometers out. Through 2 glass panes and 3 layers of air conditioning currents, and the bullet found its mark. As always, but not before she whispered, "For every scar you etched into me," and chaos broke loose. She vanished again, with NATO chasing. Ghosts in Bravo 7 scattered into exile or false death. But Reza knew where she was, deep in the Afghan mountains, living among ruins, watching the world burn from afar, and hunting anyone who tried to rebuild the ash-blood legacy. One bullet at a time, man though the world would never thank her, and command would always deny her. Those who heard her shot that day knew the truth. Captain Raya Vance was not a ghost. She was the reckoning, so if you ever hear a sniper's crack where no sniper should be, run or repent, because 10 years lost taught her only one thing: survival is not enough when vengeance is still breathing. Subscribe now for more stories that cut through silence and shatter what you thought was possible. Asterisk.